Just before we get on with the next round, I'd like to correct a mistake I made in the last video. When you complete the target minigame, you actually get the secondary close-range weapon, not the mid-range weapon, which is what I said. So apologies for any confusion there. Samurai's a pretty damn good character. He's got good strong armor. His speed's not that great, but his weaponry is pretty much the best in the game. The katana, at the very least, is... Whoa, hello. Off with your head. His katana's quite probably the best short-range weapon in the game. It's one of the easiest to hack off limbs with, and it just moves lightning fast. He's got a huge bow as well. Really helps him from far away. Whereas the knight's bow a lot less effective. Whoa, just missing with that final strike there. Really not worth trying to flail around just for the special effect. If you're that close to death, it's definitely better to just try and fight normally. I mean, you can see his arrow sticking out of me there. So he'd done a fair bit of damage to me. Okay, moving on to opponent number 7. This is Spartan. I'm sure you expected me to say something like that. As you have probably noticed, on the loading screens you get hints and tips on how to play, you get some interesting facts about the characters. Because of course, this being Deadliest Warrior, it's all based in fact. Spartan looking like he's wandered off the set of 300. Spartan, again, a very good all-round kind of fighter. Slightly outpacing it with my combos here. He's got good speed, his shield is incredible. His armor's pretty good, and his weapons are great as well. Whoa, chop the head off on the way down. He's only got, for his long-range weapon, he's just got that javelin though, and if that misses, that's it, it's gone. No second chances there. Completely fluffed my shots with the bow there. He's really taking it to me. Oh, there we go, takes me down. The sort of siren noise you heard there, that's the noise that you hear if you try and use a projectile when you can't. Let's try a mid-range weapon on him. And that's just doing so much damage there. Both our arms broken. Slicing through him there. Of course, the knight uses a two-handed weapon for his mid-range attacks, and therefore, obviously, with a broken arm, he can only use his close-range weapons. So here we go with the second minigame. This is the slash minigame. Basically, a random opponent is chosen, and you've got to beat them before the very short time limit runs out. Every hit you nail on them will chop off a limb. You are, of course, very much better off using your mid-range weapon there. Winning that minigame will result in you unlocking the mid-range weapon, the secondary one. So now, the final fight for the night. As he gets ready to take on the pirate. Pirate, a bit of a drunken shambles.
On guard, you scurvy dog.
Now, Pirate's got some excellent long-range stuff. Quite possibly the best in the game. He's got a gun, which instantly sets him apart. You see, blam, one shot, all the rest of my health completely gone. And you saw him throw the grenade there, just as I was going down. If that hits right, it's a one-hit kill. It'll blow all your limbs and your head off. And you need to do that to get one of the achievements. And he's taken me down. One of the things that's worth saying about the pirate, though, he's got very little in the way of armor. I mean, he's wearing a bit of leather. He's got a big thick coat on, but that is it, ultimately. So it's not going to offer him too much protection. In terms of armor, he ranks higher than the Apache and possibly higher than the Ninja, but really, he's not going to compete on an armor level with, say, the Spartan or the Centurion or the Knight. So really, to nullify those long-range attacks, you've got to get in close. Hacks off the arm there, and down he goes. There we go. And a little quick use of that crossbow takes him down. Perfect conclusion. And that is the end of the Knight's arcade mode. Completing the arcade mode as any given character will give you the secondary long-range attack weapon. And when you win, you get all your statistics, your wins, your losses, limbs you chopped off, decapitations. Obviously, I was very heavily reliant on my sword for this. It's quite possibly the best weapon that the Knight has. And it shows you the number of times you killed each opponent. And then the credits roll. So that is indeed the end of arcade mode. For the Knight at the very least. Each of the 8 warriors, they all have their own 8 opponents. Obviously they are the same guys, but they're fought in different orders. Some of the final matches I think may have been chosen specifically. The Centurion and the Spartan will face off, for instance, because of course historians will know a lot of similarities between Greece and Rome. The Romans took a lot of their culture from the from the Greeks, so that one seemed like a fairly appropriate one. Although, of course, the majority of them, what with these warriors being from such vastly different time periods, most of the opponents you face, even as your last kind of fight, there's not going to be too much of a correlation there. All the same, this is a pretty good game for looking at historical fantasy fights. I mean, it's just a daft bit of fun, really, but it's interesting to wonder, you know, how would these guys have held up against one another? And that is, after all, the point of the Deadliest Warrior TV series. So if you ever watch the show and you think, well, that guy was cool, but I wonder how he'd do against the guy from the other episode, well, this game might be the answer to that question. They are working on downloadable content. I believe William Wallace is actually in the front running at the moment to be the first DLC guy. I don't know how regularly they intend on updating it. I mean, because it's made by a team who are evidently working quite closely with Spike, I imagine they could keep it frequently updated and continue to do so as new seasons of the show are made. So who knows? I imagine we can probably expect all of the guys they've suggested in the fan poll. It just depends what order we're going to get them, I would imagine. And with any luck, maybe some of the other guys. You'll note, obviously, the majority of the characters, in fact all of them really, are historical, because the developers felt putting guns in the game would unbalance things too much. The pirate does, of course, have a couple of single shotguns, but putting in, say, the Mafia or the Yakuza, who were in one of the episodes against each other, that would massively unbalance the game, of course, with their machine guns. So, that's the end of part 1 of this Let's Play, shall we say? Part 2, we'll have a look at some of the challenges, and I'll show you the alternate costumes for each of the warriors. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. So I will see you in part 2 of Let's Play Deadliest Warrior, the game.